What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Here's Fire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit chat about all things film. As always, I am joined by it's happened again. Now, this week, a special guest has joined me. Conor Martin, you're back. This is your third show.
Third out of 57.
I lied to you. Conor, this is a very special moment because you were on episode 7, then you were on episode 27, and now you are on episode 57 of Movie Mondays. Tell me the story here. Why all the 7s?
I don't know. Does Shaun not like the number 7?
It might be a conspiracy that I don't know. So I've tried to work it out. First it was like under 10, then it was 20. And now it's 30 more episodes. So by episode, I'm working out 97 you'll be back for that one. I mean, that's a good ratio.
I mean, that's like mid next year.
I'll
have to clear my schedule now.
Put it into the diary there now. Shaun is on holidays this week, unfortunately. So I've used the old bringing in a second man with the exact same name as me. So there's no confusion.
Makes things easy, nice and smooth.
Some people have said I throw my voice. What do you think?
I mean, is Shaun even a real person? I've never met him. Is it just you? And you drew a little beard onto yourself for the picture of the podcast.
I can't grow up myself. You know what I mean? So this week you are kind of our expertise at all things Star Wars, definitely more than me and Shaun.
Oh, you're building me up here for a heroic fall later on.
Well, the thing is, like, the two of us are idiots, so anything above even average.
Okay.
You have that kind of that's your niche.
Okay, I might have slightly above average.
Okay, so this week I decided to put no Star Wars news in news because there's nothing that came up.
I love it because I'm rarely here for any good Star Wars news.
Yeah, it's always just they've fired another director.
Hey. That's only happened several times.
Shaun said they hired more directors than they fired. I think that's true.
Well, of course that'd have to be true, because you can't fire more directors than
you fired.
Yes,
no, you're right. You are right. Simple maths. It sounded so smart when he said it, but now that he's gone, we've turned on him.
Real stupid, Shaun. Real stupid.
So we're starting off this week with a trailer that came out. We normally tend to start off with trailers if they drop during the week. So normally there's 2, and I have to choose like the good one. But this week we only have 1, and it's the Sonic trailer. And we're starting off with it because I watched it and you watched it, and I don't know anything about your thoughts on Sonic. So I'd like to straight up, do you have any nostalgia for Sonic? Did you like the first trailer? You told me you loved his weird teeth. Conor, go.
Well, that's a lie. Because I don't have any nostalgia for Sonic.
Okay.
I didn't really play any of the games. Didn't really care for them. Didn't know there was a movie.
Yeah. Until
the first trailer came out and got all the backlash.
Yes. And did you see the first trailer?
I did.
And what did you think of it?
It looked weird.
It did look weird. Weird is the best way I can describe it. It was just like off-putting.
I mean, yeah, I'm not even a fan.
Yeah.
And Sonic looked strange.
He had like human teeth and like really beady little eyes.
And yeah, he just looked weird.
It just looked weird. So the animators who worked on that, now normally what would happen is a studio executive would say, we know better than ye, don't worry about it, this is what it's going to be like. The fans will love it when it comes out. But there was such a major backlash that it appears that these poor animators, for the last, I would assume, 10 months, have just done 24-hour shifts on a loop to try and save this fucking movie. Because the new trailer, regardless of what the story and plot is, just on a completely basic level, looks way better.
Oh, this trailer was a lot different. A lot different.
Yes.
Everything seemed to change.
Yeah.
Sonic looks a lot better.
Sonic looks like...
It's like Sonic.
He looks like Sonic.
Looks a bit more like Sonic, funnily enough.
What a coinky dink.
The star of the trailer as well, it looked like, the video game and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Instantly, we're talking... They listen to people.
What a novel concept.
Who would have thought it?
And do you think this movie will... So I've read a lot of things that are saying maybe this movie's still going to be bad. Who knows?
Probably.
But it's a movie based off a video game, and they have a terrible track record. But the idea is that it's good by contrast. As in, he looks good by contrast. Because the first one was so bad that no matter what it was, everyone would be like, thank fuck. This looks amazing.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a lot better. Might
Yeah.
make it a couple more million, just
One or two.
just a few more, you know.
Do you know what? I watched this trailer and I think it looks quite fun.
I think it's now a watchable film.
Yes.
That you could definitely bring your kids to just to watch Sonic run around.
Exactly. I was watching this and I was like kind of getting into it. Like there are some scenes in the trailer where like there's some dumb jokes and I'm like, well, that's clearly not for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm watching like I could see why someone would bring their kid to this, or someone would bring their niece or their nephew, if just you're trying to get into the cinema for a few hours. And even personally myself, I'm like, I could go see this movie. I wouldn't be like, this is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, no, don't think I will go see this movie.
No, well,
but,
we're not going to go see it, but
I mean, Sonic looks like he's a bit of fun.
yes.
Jim Carrey looks like he's doing some good things in this movie.
Jim Carrey's putting it all in.
It looks like he's trying his 1990s Jim Carrey. It looks like we're getting.
Alrighty then.
Classic.
I just want to see him come out of the arse of an elephant. That's all I want in every movie.
I wonder, does he just lose the plot and shave his head? Is that how we get to the?
It'll be Batman versus Superman. It'll be like he'll have hair for the whole movie, and the last scene is Sonic coming to visit him in jail, and he's just bald.
Just bald. He's had enough.
Yeah, he's had enough,
Yeah.
and he just slowly starts to seek into like just insanity.
Maybe.
I think that could be a sequel. There's a franchise here.
If this one actually makes a bit more than they spent on it,
Yeah,
then, well, I mean, you never know. It could be a big Sonic universe coming.
A big Sonic.
All the gang out. There's more of them? Isn't there a pink one and a red one?
There's Tails.
Yeah. Oh, I remember her actually. Yeah.
Is it a her or a he? Is Tails a male or a female?
No, there is a her though.
Oh, there is from the animated show.
Yeah.
From when we were younger. I can't remember half their names.
No.
Oh
Sonic,
my god.
Tails rings a bell.
Tails is the guy with the tail and he flies.
All right.
You really never played any Sonic.
I mean,
so this is you're coming into this cold.
I was literally stone cold.
Right.
Literally stone cold.
This is your thing of just like you're realizing Sonic is just a Flash.
As far as what I was concerned with, he was a blue dude who ran around and collected gold rings.
Fair. I mean, that's the basis of most of it. That's the gist of it. Yes. Yeah, I think this movie is going to make a lot more money because of this change, solely for the fact that if you offer someone $1 million and then, or like if you offer someone $5 million and then the next day you say, oh no, sorry, I meant $500,000, like that sounds bad, right? But if you said, I'll offer you $5,000. No, wait, no, $500,000. That's way better by contrast. And so we have seen the absolute dog shit, and now it's gone to this. And I think fans are going to be very much on board. And I think the fact that it looks, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun looking. I wasn't completely against it.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a good time.
Yes, unoffensive.
Unoffensive good time.
Unoffensive.
Just, out there enjoying little hedgehog running around like a madman.
Would you be more interested in this movie or a documentary based off the animator's last 10 months working on this movie?
Intriguing. I would... This is nearly like a Friday Night Lights thing or something. Let's see behind the scenes and see what's going on.
I would really love to see, and just like them giving their interviews like, I don't know what we're going to do.
Right, they're ready. They're on social media. Guys, the trailer is dropping in 3, 2, 1.
And they're so excited.
They're so excited. They're so happy. And then all of a sudden, it just gets shit on.
It's got 3 billion dislikes on YouTube.
Guys, it's got more dislikes than likes. This never happens.
Someone needs to go back to the drawing board. I think, John, did you do that? John, look, I've got bad news. They didn't like your eyes. Greg, your teeth were fucked, to be honest with you, Greg. That's fucked up.
Or maybe this is the greatest ploy in movie history.
Oh, shit.
They release a god-awful trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Because they want people to talk about it. And then suddenly...
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because what? People might never even realise there's a Sonic movie coming out.
Yeah.
Now they're like, I wouldn't have cared. If they did it right the first time, maybe wouldn't have even watched the trailer.
This is a conspiracy.
And now suddenly, I heard everything. The trailer's a bad trailer. Yeah. Oh, Sonic is awful looking. Then what happens? Everyone gives out. We'll fix it. Don't you worry, guys. We'll fix it. Comes back the second time around. Everyone's like, my God, it looks so much better now.
I'm definitely going to go see it.
Is this studio just being a genius?
I think this might be the smartest move by a studio ever. Or they just fucked up.
Probably the former.
Probably. Yes. But sure, look.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say they did it on purpose.
Genius, lads. Fair play to you. So, moving on to our next piece of news, and that is going to be based off Ghostbusters in 2020. Conor, you told me you loved Ghostbusters 2016. You said it was your favourite movie ever. And so they're bringing out another one, but it's not anything to do with that one, because that had girls in it.
Yeah. They can't catch ghosts. Jeez.
Everybody knows girls can't catch ghosts. They can't eat Yorkies and they can't catch ghosts. That's rules.
Got him.
I didn't know if we would attack their ghost catching abilities.
Yep, no, we're going straight for it.
But yeah, Bill Murray is the news is that Bill Murray is going to be returning for Ghostbusters in 2020, along with most of the previous cast from the first and second movies. Conor, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, what happens when something bombs?
Okay.
You gotta get back the originals to try and save the day. I mean, who doesn't want to see Big Bill back in an old jumpsuit trying to catch another ghost?
I think he's too old to be in the field.
Okay, maybe he can give advice.
No, throw him in the field. I want to see what happens. Bill Murray would be up for that.
He would do anything. He's a crazy bastard.
Yeah. But, like, they're bringing back a lot of the old cast, and, like, that's good. You get that nostalgia, but you should use that nostalgia to build another generation of Ghostbusters, whatever. I mean, at the same time, no matter how good this movie is or bad this movie is, it's not going to mean that the first one doesn't exist, so who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
But you might as well throw in a bit of nostalgia. Force Awakens it. See, Con, now I'm talking at your level.
Now we're getting somewhere. See, that's how do you get people interested? Throw in a little bit of spice from the old age, you know?
When it was good, like Ghostbusters 2, the greatest Ghostbusters movie. Don't you just love it when that painting comes to life and it's real weird?
Don't think I've ever seen Ghostbusters 2.
Yes, terrible. It's fucking dog
I've dodged a bullet, yeah. I've saved myself 90 minutes of my life.
That fascinates me, actually, Ghostbusters. Like, Ghostbusters 1 is obviously really good. And it's really funny and really likeable. Ghostbusters 2 is just... It's not great. Like, if it's on the TV, I won't watch it.
No.
If like, I'm not going to stop to watch it. I've seen it, and I just... It doesn't have the charm of the first one, is what I would say. So then when the third one came out, and everyone was like, this is the worst, I'm like, the last one wasn't even that good.
No, it's just because it was so bad, it made the second one look better.
We went to see... the Ghostbusters 2016
we did
in the cinema, and I remember us coming out going, I mean, the last act is a shit show, but up until that point it was, I mean, it wasn't offensive in any way.
I remember us coming out and going, geez boys, Chris Hemsworth was the best character in that movie.
He was quite funny. He was quite funny in that movie. But I remember just coming out of that movie thinking, first hour and a half was just grand. It's just like it's like a 6 out of 10 movie, 5 out of 10. Like, there's some funny jokes, there's some unfunny jokes. It's like probably 95% of movies these days. But then the last act, I just remember like just sitting there going, oh, this is falling off a cliff. Like, this is awful. And then the problem was, on the internet, you either had to love it or hate it.
That's the way it is nowadays, isn't it? It's one extreme or the other.
And we're bad at that. We're always like, yeah, I suppose it's grand.
People come here for the middle of the line.
But it's not because we just choose middle. We're just like, yeah, I suppose, like, it has some good points, but it's not that great. We reviewed Dark Phoenix, and we were like, that's got some good scenes.
Mostly bad, but there is some good stuff. Yeah. Whenever Michael Fassbender was in, it was pretty good.
Fassbender is putting it all in there. I mean, I watched Everything Great about Dark Phoenix the other day.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, to do the Everything Wrong with
Cinema
them.
Wins.
Cinema Wins. Yeah, Cinema Wins. I was watching the Everything Great, and I was like, and he was literally just going, yeah, Michael Fassbender is amazing. I was like, yeah, he is.
He goddamn is.
Now, he might just be Irish and we're biased, but I mean, it's Fassbender.
It's Fassbender.
You can't go wrong with Fassbender.
When does he do anything wrong?
Never. Name one time, except for some of those movies.
Name one bad Fassbender movie.
Oh, man. X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Besides an X-Men movie.
Jeez, I don't know, actually. You've got me. You have got me.
See? Got you there.
So, we got to X-Men Dark Phoenix from Ghostbusters, but Ghostbusters, they're bringing back the old cast. Connor, are you excited about this Ghostbusters movie, or do you not care?
Probably won't see it, to be honest.
Really?
I don't know. It depends what's coming out around the time it comes out.
I suppose. Like, do you think it has the hype? Maybe it doesn't have the hype from like.
It'll definitely build a bit of intrigue with the original cast coming back to play whatever kind of part they have to play in it.
Or is its time past? Okay, I've got another question.
Maybe.
Has the 2016 movie soured people?
Definitely.
Or had it already just not had that much legs anyway to begin with, and it was just like people liked the first one and a kind of bit of nostalgia played into it?
Yeah, I think people probably just liked the first one. And I think just because the theme song is still such a big thing in the world,
a classic.
People were like, if people love the theme song, they still love Ghostbusters, which means we gotta make a new movie in 2016.
Yeah, well, and like you got Sigourney Weaver and Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray coming back. I mean, that's gonna put some butts in seats. I don't know how many, but
yeah, might bring back some of the older generation.
And because they didn't like the women one, because women aren't allowed to catch ghosts. We've been over this, Connor. They can't catch them,
and they're also just not as funny as Bill Murray.
This is only funny because there was, during the early shows, the gag was that I would always say the sexist thing, and Shaun would be like, you can't say that. And I thought you in real life, you were like, Connor, you can't say that, that's awful. And now you've come on and attacked. I have to be the straight man.
Yep.
I'm going to have to start attacking minorities now in a minute to try and even this thing out.
Oh, God.
The straight white men, hang on.
Yeah. Old white men, that's where it's at.
Dickheads, absolute dickheads.
What?
You're like,
goddamn run the world.
They raised some good points. So, yeah, Bill Murray is returning for Ghostbusters. Don't you worry, the excitement is building every single day for Ghostbusters 2020. I can't wait, Con.
Can't wait for Bill.
Can't wait for Bill.
Do you know what? If there was a 4-minute clip of just him in it, perfect, I'd watch it.
Actually, I would watch that too.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. Moving on to our next piece of news, and that is Black Adam. Dwayne Johnson put out an Instagram post during the week, and he confirmed for all of us all, he confirmed like the worst kept secret in Hollywood, that they are in fact going to be doing a Black Adam movie, and he will be playing Black Adam. Connor, what are your thoughts on this?
It's about goddamn time this man is in a superhero movie.
Actually, that's a good point.
You have The Rock,
Yeah.
the most electrifying man with a body like his, and he is not in a superhero movie until 2021.
You've seen that eyebrow. Everybody knows that eyebrow.
I mean, good lord. He could have played Superman, goddammit.
The Rock as Superman wouldn't be bad.
Might actually add a bit of charisma to the goddamn
I
character.
think he's too big, though.
For Superman?
Yeah, because Superman's big, but he's not The Rock big. The Rock is like a whole subhuman level of big.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he will be playing Black Adam, so that will be like, I don't want to say sequel, like to Shazam. I think it's kind of just a side project, because they should be in the same universe, and the next movie that comes out with Shazam will have the two of them in it. But they're doing a Black Adam movie by itself because they have The Rock.
I mean, if you have The Rock, you gotta use him.
You might as well use him. Do you think he'll play The Rock in this movie? Will Black Adam just suddenly be real cool?
Probably will be, but since isn't he meant to be a bad guy, though?
Black Adam is a bad guy.
Right.
Which is interesting. That's why this casting is very interesting. Like,
people like The Rock.
He's the most charismatic man in Hollywood, I would say.
Lovable person.
He's a very lovable man. He gives great Graham Norton interviews. You gotta like the chap. But yeah, Black Adam is Shazam's like Joker.
Yep.
Or like Shazam's evil nemesis. The story of Black Adam is that I think it's mentioned even slightly in the Shazam movie. I think they said, like Adam or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they had the little clip when he was down with the old wizard or something, showing Black Adam. They showed like. He gave the power to one
they did
before.
show it. Yeah, I forgot they even showed the clip. Yeah, and there's an empty chair in the 7 because there's like 6 there. But Black Adam is this guy from Egypt that the Shazam wizard gives the Shazam wizard. We all realise the dude with the beard. He gives him the Shazam powers as he does to Billy Batson, and Shazam then uses them for his own glory. He gets all these Superman powers and becomes super powerful, and he's like, I'm kind of a dick, so. And that's why the wizard is always like, I have to find the most pure person now, because we can't have that mistake happen again.
Yeah.
That I give it to somebody who's not completely pure. But Black Adam then kind of goes evil, and the story is basically Shazam and Black Adam are the same, mostly the same powers, and they just punch each other until one of them gives up. Mostly Black Adam.
Right, usually how the old superhero movies work.
How they work. So you have Shazam. They are doing a Shazam 2, because like Shazam 1 did a lot better. Did pretty well and did a lot better than they expected, I think, to do.
Oh yeah, definitely, I'd say.
So they have Black Adam now coming out. How do you structure a movie about around the bad guy? As we say that Joker just came out, but I think Black Adam is slightly more superpower, mythological kind of thing. How do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably just show us his origin anyway. But then I don't know what to do. Are they just going to do a Venom thing where he takes out...
Venom! That's what yeah.
Are they just going to do like a Venom thing? Yeah, where like there's a worse bad than him, so he actually saves the world.
He is an anti-hero in some stories.
Right.
Now, mostly he's just beating up a child who's just pretending to be a grown man, which is
him more already.
You know what? I'm starting to see his side. But normally he's just the dude punching Billy Batson. But sometimes he is an anti-hero in the comic books. He's ultimately a bad guy, but he can be an anti-hero. So yeah, Venom might be the best description of this. Because, I mean, it worked so well for Venom. We all loved Venom.
Venom made like, what, 800 million?
That's not what I said. I said we all loved Venom. What were your thoughts on Venom?
I mean, I didn't hate it.
It was just there.
It was grand.
Can you remember the plot?
Venom? Yeah.
Off.
Well, like, Tom Hardy.
He's moving his head a lot.
He's doing his thing. He gets fired from his job.
Yeah, he does.
Then
he's all down in his luck.
Venom came down, or they were they got the spaceship crashed or whatever. They got loose. Then he takes over a load of bodies on his way to. Oh no, was that Riot? Sorry, that might have been Riot. Venom was there. Someone had Venom. Venom was floating around somewhere.
My point is proven. We are all done. And when did the dancing happen? Was he dancing down the street at some point? In like a black suit, and he had like an emo hair. Am I thinking of a different Venom?
I think you're thinking of a different Venom.
Am I thinking of a different
This
Venom?
Venom was a little cooler, to be fair.
Tom Hardy was it looked like he had taken a lot of cocaine before that, because his head is just constantly moving.
Wouldn't you if something was rattling around inside you, though?
Fair enough, he's got an alien inside him.
He does have an alien literally inside him.
Literally.
It just doesn't pop out of his chest.
No.
That's a different franchise.
Can I ask you a question about Venom? This has nothing to do with Black Adam.
We've done this twice now.
We've done this twice. We're not having this again. But I just thought so.
Right.
He eats people in the Venom. But there's a scene in Venom where he is Venom. And he bites off the head of another man. But then he turns back into Tom Hardy and Tom Hardy is chewing. Does that mean Tom Hardy is a cannibal?
Probably.
Okay, well that's fine. That's all I wanted answered. Dwayne Johnson is going to be in his own superhero movie. How many millions of dollars are we thinking? Do you think it'll make as much as Shazam? Even more, maybe, because it has The Rock.
Probably because it has The Rock. He'll have his die-hard fans going out for a look. Then the DC fans will go out for a look. It'll be a bit of that. I think it will. I think it will make more money than Shazam.
That's fair enough. I think Shazam made 700 million, maybe something like that.
Okay.
So
maybe 800, 900 for The Rock.
Well, the Rock's name alone gives you a few, and he's been in some absolute dog shit movies that make a lot of money.
Hey.
Baywatch.
Two-Face.
You shut up fairly quickly. You're like, no, actually, he has a point.
Yeah, I was going with Tooth Fairy. But look,
no, I mean Baywatch. Recently, that one with the skyscraper was that? It was called Skyscraper.
I actually didn't see Skyscraper.
Rampage.
He's
had some bad ones.
Hey, Rampage wasn't. It was a big monkey, big crocodile.
You're just describing the plot, not how good it was.
Hey, well, he had San Andreas. That wasn't great either.
That wasn't great either. He's had a run of just movies that are that good. But
Hobbs and Shaw was pretty good.
Yeah, like that's inbuilt in a universe. But
he saved. Let's get that out there.
Okay, he did. That is true. But a lot of his movies recently are not that great and kind of live off the fact that we have The Rock.
And I feel he's okay with
that. He's making a lot of money, and fair play to him.
The studios care because they're making money too.
Fair fucks to him. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, and that is James Bond related. Now, Conor, normally I wouldn't bring up James Bond because me and Shaun have a rule that we don't like James Bond. But you are the man I know who loves James Bond more than anyone.
All right, well, I'll give you that. I'm
You
going to go as I love it I
You
like
love
them.
Star Wars,
Yes.
and you have all of the James Bond movies on DVD. And that is my level of lunacy. So you are my James Bond expert.
I've actually have them all in a little
That's
one
even
box
worse.
set.
That's even
Actually,
worse.
except for Spectre. I don't have Spectre.
You are a disgrace. You've been kicked out of the club. The news this week is that James Bond, in the next movie, will be married in No Time to Die, which is Daniel Craig's last movie. There's been a lot of news about behind the scenes here, how nobody wants to be on set, Daniel Craig doesn't want to be James Bond anymore, and he's now married. Conor, what are your thoughts on Bond having a wife? Do you think he can, the old ball and chain of home will stop him shooting all those people in his head? What's going on there?
I don't know. Is he married from early in the movie?
It is implied, because in the last movie, was the last movie the one where it ends where they're on a bridge?
Yes.
I seen that in the
Holy
cinema.
shit.
I seen that in the cinema.
Did you come with us to see it?
No. I think I went with people.
Oh, you went with other people.
I went
you
with
have other friends. What the hell is this? We're taking another tangent on this podcast. You have other friends.
just real quick. No, I can't remember who. I think I went with people who I was going to college with.
Right.
And I went to see it, and it was. I just remember that's the only James Bond movie I think I've seen from first second to last second. And I was just like, this is very similar to all of those other scenes I've seen in all the other James Bond movies. You're like I'm after insulting your family member.
No, don't worry about it.
But look, they are very similar in plots, a lot of them.
But you can say that about any
I suppose
movie.
you can. But
If you break it down to it, what does he do? He's a spy. He loses the battle. The bad guy looks like he's about to win. Bond saves the girl.
yeah, so you have James Bond. He's now married. Does he lose a bit of the cool factor now that he's got an old ring on the finger? He liked it and he should have put a ring on, and he did.
Well, see, he got married before.
Yeah, but that didn't last that long, did it?
No, she died real quick.
Very quickly. She was used as a MacGuffin to get to it.
Yeah, kind of. It was the one George Lazenby did, so the only movie he did.
And he was married in that.
He got married at the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
And then
She died straight away.
pretty much they got married. They're driving the car, whatever. He gets out to like take the, you know, the way the just married to the back of the car and the cans or the flowers or whatever. He got out of the car to take them off, and Blofeld drives by.
Blofeld drives by.
It's a drive-by shoot.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
It's on Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's the one movie that George Lazenby
I didn't know
did.
that.
Yeah.
Blofeld drives by.
Oh, sorry, someone's driving by. I can't remember. I think someone's driving by. A Blofeld shoots your.
It's always Blofeld in all these movies. It's always fucking Blofeld. Like, that is amazing. In my head, he like slowly wheels down, rolls out the window, and just like shoots, then rolls it back up and gets out of there.
Do you know what? You'll enjoy this even
Oh,
more.
here
now.
we go.
Right. So since in the previous fight scene where he defeats Blofeld,
Yeah, Ben's real mad about that.
He injured Blofeld,
Oh,
right?
fuck.
But so Blofeld has a big neck brace on him. As he's doing it.
That is the best writing for any movie I've ever heard. How have I never heard of that?
I don't know.
That's amazing.
Funnily enough, George Lazenby only did the one.
He'd be right
one
too.
Bond movie.
He'd be right too. I bet Bond is real mad about that murder in the next one though.
I don't think no.
Never carried over. Just killed her for the sake of
But
it.
see, they don't usually carry over when they change Bond.
Yeah. So then,
can't-
is he just shaking his fist at Blofeld like, not again?
Well, he didn't realise he'd actually shot her. Like, he was kind of, since he was one side of the car, he started shooting back.
Yeah.
And then he got into the car and said, oh crap, we better go get him. And then he looks over and she's got a bullet in the head.
Fuck. Wow, that is good writing. That is good.
Hey, you
Never let Bond have a moment of happiness, is what I say.
That's it. Keep him sad.
Keep him sad. Sad Bond is good. Sad, lonely, just sex addict Bond is what we all want. Alcoholic, sex addict, sad. That's Bond's traits.
Maybe he's just moving with the times now and it's like, we may settle him down, lads, because we can't keep this whole train going, you know.
Yeah, of him just sleeping with... Of every woman he meets wants to sleep with him immediately.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the right good-looking lad, that works for you in real life.
I don't know if that carries over to all of real life, though.
Not all of it.
No.
But
what would you have to look like? Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Chris.
But you see, if he wasn't a movie actor, he'd still probably walk down the street and have women looking at him do you know what? Yeah.
One of the Marvel Chris's might be able to get away with that.
Only one. I'd say several of them.
All three. Maybe not Pratt.
I think he'd have a good following.
We're talking about how fuckable are... This is like a BuzzFeed quiz. How fuckable are the Chris's from Marvel? So yeah, James Bond might be married in the next movie is the rumour. Conor, as I said, can James Bond be married? And how long will this woman last before she is inevitably shot in the face for him to be angry until the last act?
Yeah, well, you never know. She might die. But I did see there was like a line or two released as well where he's like, was like, "Oh, morning, Mrs. Bond," and she's like, "It's actually Miss Swan." Oh. So like, Oh yeah.
So he beats her.
She wouldn't even take his name.
Oh fuck. Oh,
my God.
Women can't catch ghosts. Can't get second.
Nothing traditional anymore, is
you know
there?
What? Jesus Christ. You know what? James Bond as a franchise is amazing. It speaks to me as a man.
Well, hang on. One man has done 25 as a franchise of 25 movies. I'm pretty sure they've done okay.
Look, I think Bond is from a different era and needs to stop. That's how I feel.
Maybe this is... I mean, say that, but like, Skyfall was amazing.
I think Skyfall was good. I prefer Casino Royale.
Casino Royale was amazing.
I think Casino Royale is my favourite of all the Daniel Craig movies.
Yeah. Skyfall was mine, but I love Casino Royale as well.
I think they've been kind of going downhill. Skyfall was like a slight little blip up, and then
it was very...
Quantum of Solace wasn't great. Right, Spectre wasn't great.
Spectre was alright.
Alright.
This wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a great movie.
It was
a down from Skyfall. But
yeah, fair enough. It was a Skyfall from Skyfall, is what you're saying.
It's a bit harsh.
What? That was good.
Had Batista in it.
What did? But he didn't say any words.
Didn't need to though.
If you have Batista...
Maybe he doesn't need to speak. He doesn't say much as Drax, but what he does say is funny.
See, Batista would be too big for Superman as well. He's
too wide though.
I think The Rock is too wide. Henry Cavill is massive.
Batista's like 6'2", but like so wide. While The Rock or like Henry Cavill and that are like a lot taller, but like I don't know why I'm trying to point it out to you here.
It's an audio platform.
It's audio, and here's me move my hands up and down to symbolise their heights.
It's about this big.
Yeah, there's about that much between them.
Does everybody at home realise it's about that big?
Yeah.
So we all clear on how much I meant?
Think of how far I'm holding my hands apart, and that's exactly what you're thinking right now.
Right, so we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and that is involving Terminator Dark Fate. Conor, my question is this. Terminator Dark Fate came out a few weeks ago.
Did.
It's come out to middling reviews, would you say?
Do you know, I haven't read much of the reviews, really, to be honest.
But you've seen it. What did you think?
Best one since T2.
See, that sounds good until you realise how bad the rest of them are.
Alright, well, I don't mind Terminator 3, but that was my first Terminator movie to see, so...
Okay.
That's probably a bit unfair, because it was my first, and I thought, oh my god, this is pretty cool.
You seen 3 before you seen 2 and 1?
Yeah, because whatever way it happened... I just got to the age when T3 came out that I was like, I could see it. Yeah. So I was just like...
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Okay, and I saw it and I was like, oh, Arnie is so cool. He's just shooting robots. I mean, this is pretty damn good. I don't know. Obviously then...
Everything a little boy would want.
I didn't care for anything else, so I thought it was pretty good at the time. Then like, Salvation came out. It's not
your head is in your hands.
It's probably my least favourite one.
Yeah.
And that's nothing really against Christian Bale or that. It's not really... You know,
I would be against Christian Bale on that production only because he shouted at that sound guy and someone recorded that. That was the movie where they had the audio of him screaming at. Was it the lighting or the sound guy? I think it might be one of them. Anyway. It was one of them, and he's just screaming at him for like 2 minutes. And I was just like, this is the perfect representation of this movie. It's just not great.
And do you know what the worst thing is though about that movie? My favourite scene is the one where they bring out Arnie for the 2 minutes that he's in the movie. That's my favourite bit of the movie.
And then we went to see Genesis.
We did.
In the cinema.
Yep.
I think that was my first... Yeah, obviously that was my first Terminator to see in the cinema. Yeah, I didn't see any of the others. I've seen them all, but I just had never seen them in the cinema. And Genesis was like not good. it was
in a storytelling sense, because it
made
kinda
no
just
sense.
wrote off everything else.
Yeah.
Like I actually watched it the other day.
Okay.
I watched
So
the other day.
you're fresh coming off this.
Yeah, and while I think like the action in it is good. Like if it was a movie on its own that didn't have everything else happen beforehand, I think it would be better.
It'd be like a 6 out of 10.
It would be grand.
Yeah, a grand movie.
But it was just the fact that they're like, oh, suddenly Sarah Connor's alive. And suddenly James Conner. Now you see, the thing is,
Suddenly Jai Courtney's on my screen. That's what I said.
and I didn't mind that. But suddenly it kind of messed with everything in the sense that, we actually didn't know if John Connor, when Kyle Reese went back, we'd never seen that previously, him going back. So that could have been, you never know, but that might have been the timeline where he actually becomes a bad guy.
Yeah.
So we don't really know about that. But then suddenly they have the T-100 and then the liquid one from Terminator 2. They suddenly have them two in it at the very start, and I'm like, all right, well, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
I was like, I thought it was cool at first when they brought the old Arnie back from the first movie.
And when you think about it, though, it makes no sense.
It's a bit weird.
It makes
and then suddenly Sarah Connor's after growing up all this time with a Terminator.
Yeah.
Compared to like Terminator 1 and 2, where in Terminator 1 she's
being hunted
a scared girl who has no clue what the hell is going on. And in Terminator 2, you see her progressing into like a badass, but who everyone thinks is a psychopath.
Yes.
And then you see, that's why I kind of like Terminator Dark Fate, because it tells you now that all this time, any Terminators that have come back, she's been like ready to kill them, and like she is now a badass.
In my experience, every Terminator since T2, maybe not T3, but definitely the next two, have always had the air of forget everything since T2. This is the actual proper history. And they did that in 4 in Salvation. Then they did it in Genesis. We're like, forget everything that happened in Salvation. And everything since T2. Just go back to T2 and we're going from there. And then in this one, they've done the exact same thing. We're like, forget everything since T2. We're going from there. Eventually, they're going to have to get to a point where they're just like, forget the last 17 movies. Do you remember number 2? Let's get to that one again. Huh? We all love that one.
Well, this could be it, though, because like, I think this was like, well, maybe not for Terminator, the franchise, but maybe for like, because they brought Linda Hamilton back. So they were clearly serious about this one being like...
She was their big selling point.
She is how they probably got a lot of people to go and see this movie.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, Linda Hamilton's back. She was really good in T1 and T2.
You have Arnie and Linda Hamilton in the same movie, Terminator.
Got him back again. Here we go.
Yeah.
And they had some good, they had some good stuff. So like, I don't know if you want to do spoilers for.
You can do spoilers if you want.
Terminator.
It's out of the cinema now.
Is it out of the cinema?
Well, it was out of the. I went to look at listings last week or the other day. It wasn't there.
But you know what? Actually, it wasn't in our local in IMC.
No,
it was in Omniplex.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, IMC don't have the rights to all
There
these
you
movies.
go.
But anyway,
Fair
I didn't
enough.
know cinemas could pick and choose rights. I thought they just got whatever they wanted. But anyway, so you didn't see it. Do you know anything about it, really?
No.
No. So, like, if you remember the end of Terminator 2...
I asked you and you were like, it's alright, you don't need to see it. I was like, alright, cool.
Fair. Well, you don't need to see any
yeah,
movie.
no,
But, like,
technically we're all just slowly edging towards that.
But, like, it literally went all the way back to Terminator 2 and, like, advanced it a year, and suddenly another Arnie comes back and kills John Connor. Dead as a kid. So now there's no future John Connor.
Right.
Boom, bang, dead.
Great stuff.
Straight out the bat. There's now no John Connor.
Love child's getting killed. Go on.
Yeah. So obviously then they move on, and there's now this Mexican girl who is like basically the young
John Connor again.
Sarah Connor. Well, she's
Sarah
the young,
Connor.
Or no, sorry. Yeah, sorry, no, because they show in the future. Yeah, because she is like the young Sarah Connor or John Connor, whatever. She's going to be that.
She's going to be the hero
She's going
of
to
the
be that.
resistance.
She's going to be that. She's going to be the hero of the resistance, pretty much. And she ends up sending back the girl, kind of half Terminator, like the augmented human,
right?
Not full Terminator,
yes.
but not.
I've seen her in the trailer. Yeah,
her, the blonde chick.
Yeah, the blonde chick.
I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
She had a name, and I can't remember. But yeah, and then obviously they need the help though of Arnie at the end.
Of course, you could not have Arnie in it though.
Sure, he's an experienced Terminator.
He's an experienced Terminator.
But hilarious.
Oh, go
hilarious
on. But he puts on funny sunglasses.
He didn't. That was they hinted at the sunglasses. He didn't pick them up. I'm not gonna lie.
You hate to see it happen.
I was a little gutted.
Yeah, look.
But he has a family in this.
What?
Not Alright, hang on. Not
Sorry, I don't know if that's how it works.
as in not like a sexual family.
Right.
If you get what I mean. As in,
Like a cult.
there's like a so no, there's a woman who he likes, sort of.
He likes.
Who he likes.
He's a robot.
He can't love.
But he can like.
Oh, no.
He's a player.
This is the word. This is not what
He can't get attached, but he has sex with loads of women.
she's divorced and she is a kid.
Right.
But he helps raise the kid.
Okay.
But their relationship is not.
It couldn't be.
Like, it couldn't be because they make a joke
Of
about
certain
Linda Hamilton's
things.
like, has she not noticed a 400-pound Terminator on top of her yet?
Yeah.
And he was like, our relationship is not physical.
Good. That's a good accent. Very good. I was like I was in Austria.
And he was good. It was funny, like, because he's a Terminator, but he's running his own drapery company.
Oh, that's good.
There we go.
You love when you put Terminator in a silly situation.
Exactly.
Not unfair.
But he still had access to all these weapons and everything like that.
Yeah.
And he still was badass come the end.
Right. So all of this is a setup to my question that originally I was going to ask, but then I just wanted to ask you about Dark Fate.
Okay.
Do you think Dark Fate's reaction and all the James Cameron news that has come out afterwards will hurt Avatar in the future? Because there's 55 Avatar movies, which we will get to in our last piece of news this week.
Alright.
But this is going to be a bit of a setup. Do you think that Terminator and anything to do with that has a bit of a stench at it now? And James Cameron has not come out well in recent weeks in all of our news that we've covered. Do you think that'll hurt the Avatar series?
I think Avatar's just going to hurt itself in the end, isn't it?
Oh, that's good. Yes. That is
No,
true.
I mean, I don't really care for it, to be honest. Didn't see the first one in the cinema.
Can I ask you a question then?
Yeah, go on.
Do you not respect? So there's certain directors or actors, if you see them in a movie, you're like, I'm going to go see that movie.
Yep, like Arnie.
James Cameron used to be a director where you're like, if he's done a movie, you go see it.
Yeah.
I feel like the more Terminators he attaches his name to, the less strong that star shines.
If this one was awful, maybe.
Okay.
But thankfully it wasn't awful. It was good.
That's because there's such a low bar though. Like
That helps, you know? That helps. Had a low bar. Well,
Yeah.
This one was pretty good.
easily cleared.
There you go. I was like, there you go, guys. There's the one that actually follows T2.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's the one you've wanted for the last 20 years.
Do you think the next one then will just go, forget everything we just said in those ones, go back to T2 again?
Well, with the end of that one, it is a way now to kind of like write out Arnie and Linda Hamilton if you wanted. She doesn't die. Spoiler. She doesn't die. Linda Hamilton doesn't die.
Okay, good.
But like she is older. So like if they wanted to move on, then they've after introducing the Mexican girl who I can't remember her name, and they introduced your one who plays the augmented human.
Yes.
So
You have another base for another movie
and
there.
obviously Arnie died again because he dies in every fucking Terminator.
Of course. Puts his big thumb up when he goes down though. Loves life.
Hang on. When I saw that for the first time, I cried.
Oh, for God's sake.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I cried when I saw that for the first time.
Why the tub?
Because he was telling Shaun everything's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay, man.
Don't worry about it. I've already killed him, so it's all good, man. It's all good. No more Terminators for you until a year later.
Yeah, until
one he actually seemed to get shotgunned in the chest as well.
Doesn't John Connor then turn into a Terminator in Genesis?
In Genesis, he does. Yeah.
Look, it's all so crisscrossed. I don't know. So why I brought up the James Cameron thing is because we're finishing Movie Mondays this week with our big news. And that is Disney announcing all of their next few releases for all of the next few years.
Exciting.
Up to 2023.
They're getting fairly
released.
confident in themselves now, aren't they?
You know, I think these Disney lads might not stay around that long.
Oh no, sure. There's loads of big movie companies out there nowadays who are making lots of good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like they have a monopoly on the market that they can just plan to 2023.
Not at all. And I mean, Netflix and all them are safe because Disney are only having their own new streaming service coming out.
And they certainly wouldn't buy Netflix because they've got $3 trillion.
No, should have got more money than like probably the USA at this point.
Basically. Like Disney is, to put it mildly, could just buy the whole entertainment company, all of them, if they wanted, really. Other than maybe Warner Brothers, who might put up a little bit of a fight, but I think eventually Disney would have more money.
Oh yeah, I mean, could you imagine Walt Disney, who started all this with a little mouse, and now suddenly
It all started with a little
it all
mouse
started with a mouse
on a little boat.
little boat cartoon mouse.
A little boat cartoon mouse.
Suddenly, a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
What a hero. What a man. If you think back to, you know what, that's the American dream.
And imagine he went through a lot of hardships in his time, and now look how easy it is for them.
I think he's very dead though now.
He's quite dead.
He'd be quite dead. So I don't know if he's reaping in with those rewards, but his family, I'd say, are quite well.
So anyway, what's the good stuff coming out in the next few years?
So in terms of what's planned, first up, the planned Star Wars trilogy is still on.
The new one.
So
The Rian Johnson one.
Rian Johnson, that was taken off, and then you have the DB Weiss and Benioff one that was also taken away, but they are still locked into those dates that they originally planned. So this is before their exit. So the dates are December 2022, December 2024, and December 2026.
Right.
They're still locked in.
Grand. So they're going to see that they come up with any ideas in the next year.
Basically, the plan is, I think, that we're just going to leave them there and see if we can make it up on the night. You know, in college, when you get an assignment, you do it the night before.
Do it the night before.
They're going to do it the night before for Star Wars.
Do you know what? Works out. You get a pass.
You get a pass. Get out
All
of there.
you need is a pass.
That's all you need. What are your thoughts on them keeping to the Star Wars trilogy, even though they have got no directors signed on or no ideas? Because we know that they were making this up as they went along.
Like, it's not they've got no ideas. There's so much to work with in the Star Wars universe. So
a lot to base
they
it
probably
on.
have ideas. It's just they need the right director to. See, the problem is, I'm going to say, to do what they want.
See, that's what you actually mean, though. You know right well.
Well, if you have a director big enough to do what they want, but do it how you want to do it.
Yes.
So, like, obviously, we've talked about this. Anytime I've been on the show or whatever, we've talked about, like, say, Darth Revan or Jedi Knight Revan, whichever.
Yes.
If you wanted to start with Jedi Knight Revan, turn to Darth Revan.
You really wanted to do this.
I don't say really. I never really played the games. So, but it's an untouched area. It's something they could do that's not related in any way.
Could you explain Revan to people who don't know what you're talking about? Because even I know, but I listen to you
just
sometimes.
from listening to me.
So yeah,
Revan was just originally a Jedi. This is like 5,000 years before
the prequels.
Before the prequels, so Obi-Wan and Yoda and Mace Windu and all them, like 5,000 years before that. So this would in no way at all, even closely, tie into it.
Thank God.
So if
no trade tariffs.
Yeah, so this helps if they're going like, if this is the end of the Skywalker saga now, Episode 9, like they don't have to call this one Episode 10, because this can just be like a new Star Wars,
something like Rogue One, or just something that's completely
but
separate.
It'd just be like Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
Or The Old Republic is kind of just something along those lines, or like the story of Revan, blah de blah. So yeah, he's kind of similar to Anakin in the sense that he was a good guy, trained as a Jedi or whatever, turns to the dark side of the Force, and eventually become. So this is also a time when like there was like a lot of Sith. It wasn't just two. It wasn't the rule of two.
Yeah, there was like 100,000.
There was an empire of Sith
until they started killing each other.
Yeah, because they all wanted more power,
yeah.
And they felt that they were stronger if they could kill each other.
Because the idea would be that the Force, this is all like Star Wars, who cares? But like the Force power, or the Sith power, is like spread out between you all. So if you all kill them down to two, then the two of you will have more power.
Yeah, may sort of along that lines. But only the rule of two kind of come in, I think, because they were all killing each other, whatever. And then they could kind of now be in secret and kind of, be in secret and kind of like do things under the hood until
literally under the hood.
Yeah, until it was literally the right time to like come out with Emperor Palpatine at the end.
Which, I mean, he was clearly an evil person. He was like, the whole time in all those movies. Somebody should have called that out.
What?
Yoda, you're meant to be smart, man. Just look at him. Take one look at him. He's clearly evil.
Yeah, well, that was how powerful he was, though.
What?
He could hide himself.
Of course, in plain sight.
Exactly.
Damn you, Jar Jar Binks. You cost us all those younglings' deaths. They're on you, Jar Jar.
Jar Jar's fault.
So you wanted to go back to Revan because I think that's an interesting story but do you run the risk of repeating the same story as with Anakin then?
You see, that's the problem with that story is like it's a great character, it's a different character, but with a similar-ish kind of story to Anakin. But unlike Anakin, who was never really the leader, he was always like Obi-Wan's Padawan, and then he was Emperor Palpatine's puppet.
Yeah.
Revan was the leader of like a group as a Jedi, and then when he turned to the Sith, he was also a leader and had a huge rivalry with Darth Malak, who was the other big Sith at the time.
Okay.
And whatever, and eventually defeated him, whatever, but came to the reason of his ways and turned back. So like he's more of a leader than Anakin.
So he turned back to the good.
Yeah. Properly,
Right.
without losing his arms and his legs and throwing a Emperor off through a Death Star
That's
chute.
usually what they have to go through to go back. Yeah.
I don't really know why or how he turns back in the end.
But that might be interesting, though.
Yeah, it is different. It's similar. It's a similar vein.
Can I then, maybe you come in after he's gone back to the good, and you have a movie or a movie series of him trying to right the wrongs that he feels like he's done by going to the dark side, and he did all those dastardly things, and he's like, I have a debt that I'll never be able to repay, but I just gotta wake up every day and just do like, try and live my life as the best Jedi ever, and do one thing every day to try and close off this debt, because one day I'm gonna be like, I need to be able to look at myself and be like, you shouldn't have gone to the Sith, you fucking dickhead.
Well, like, kind of pretty much. So like, when he was Jedi Knight Revan, he had like a load of group of friends and followers who would like go to the end of the world for him to do what he wanted to do, and then when he turned to the dark side, anyone that didn't follow him, he just killed.
Right.
Killed them all. Didn't matter how friendly they were with him. He just killed them.
John from The Office, who's lovely. He was shaking his hand, he was just decapitated him.
Could have been the nicest person ever.
Didn't matter.
Butchered him.
And his family. And I'm coming for your kids as well, John.
So yeah, I if they hold that 3-movie slot for something that's different, I'm okay with it.
Okay, that's pretty good. So I want to start off with Star Wars, because our next thing was not going to be as exciting as Star Wars, because we just talked about it. It is Avatar. They have announced the dates. Finally, we get to savour in. Keep your diary free.
Yeah.
Because these are going to be movies that we want to see. So you've got December 2021 is going to be Avatar. You've got December 2023 is going to be Avatar. And then you've got December, the next one will also be December 2025. Because there's going to be 4 more Avatar movies or 3 more. So you realise very cleverly what they're done here.
Interlocking them between the Star Wars movies.
Every second year we get either Avatar or Star Wars. Man. We're locked in.
If Avatar bombs though, and Star Wars is still making the $1 billion, they're gonna be.
There's no way Avatar 2 is making $1 billion. There's no way.
Do you not think Curiosity might get the second one?
The third one definitely not.
Especially if the second one's not good.
Yeah, I don't think the second one can be good. I don't think there's like enough there.
I've still only watched the first one once.
I've seen the first one, and it is the most grand movie ever. Like, it's just fine.
Like, it made, though, all that money because of the 3D at the time.
Yeah. And me and Shaun have talked about it, like, 3D tickets are more expensive.
Yeah.
So you don't need as many people to go see it. Mm-hmm. But, like, that was the first big 3D movie that I remember that was that was in cinemas for, like, 6 months straight.
Was it? I didn't see it in the cinema.
No, either did I. I seen it at Christmas one year, and I never seen it in the cinema. But
I think I was like the same, yeah.
But I remember it was just in cinemas for like 6 months straight, and everyone was just like, everybody and their dog, except for apparently me and you, seen it in the cinema. And so I don't think this next one's going to have that run. I think James Cameron thinks this is a series that is a lot bigger than it actually is.
Yeah, definitely. But clearly Disney do as well. I mean,
they must have done some sort of like surveys.
They would have had to put out feelers to be like, when did the first one come out? 2009?
2009, I think
2009.
it was.
So like 2019, 10 years later, they have people stand on the streets. Do you like Avatar 1?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was grand. Would you be interested in Avatar 2? And they might be like, maybe.
Suppose.
And then they're like, that's a yes.
What about 3 and 4? Well, look,
we have to see how 2 goes. Well, that's a yes. Thank you very much.
Seems like a yes to me. Report back to the mouse. Report back our findings.
Mickey, we're coming.
I think this might be. I think this is James Cameron slightly buying into his own hype too much, and I think what they've done there is been like, 3 billion people, $3 billion is what people paid for the first one. I mean, even if we get $1.5 billion for the second one, that's pretty good.
They'll take it. Like, if they spend $200 million to make it, or $250 million to make it,
yeah,
Sure, they 4 times made their money.
That's all the profit. So, I mean, it is a good business move, but in terms of as an actual movie, I don't think there's the clamoring that they think is there. But speaking of clamoring that is there, is that they announced 5 new untitled Marvel movies.
Exciting.
Yes. The previous announced Blade will take one of those spots. As, like, I think Blade is an interesting movie in itself, like, because I don't think you can do a PG-12.
But it should be like Deadpool. They can't do a PG-13 Deadpool.
No, there's no point.
No, there's no point.
Because, I mean, if he's going to be decapitating vampires and stuff like that, and
that's where the fun is in Blade and in Deadpool. Like, you want to watch them kill people in a funny way.
And Blade is also meant to be kind of scary. Not scary in, like,
horror scary.
Yeah, not scary in a horror scary, but like he's going down a little alleyway and they're like, there's going to be a vampire that pops up somewhere and somebody's going to get stabbed or someone's going to get bitten here. It's not going to be great. So you do have Blade. The remainder of the movies, however, are as yet unknown in the other 4 slots.
Right.
So we know that Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man will likely get 3rd installments, both of them.
Okay, yeah.
And Captain Marvel will also return for a sequel.
Oh, the joy.
But beyond that is basically anyone's guess of what they're actually going to be doing. But we know that those movies will be getting sequels, but there also is a chance for first-time movies that they can throw out.
You didn't put Black Panther on that list.
Didn't put any X-Men or any Fantastic Four movies that there might be a suspicion that they will eventually do.
Yeah.
Because they do own all of that, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, interesting. You think they do Ant-Man before they do Black Panther too?
Well, Ant-Man is announced.
Oh, they announced Ant-Man? I didn't even know that.
Ant-Man and Peyton Reed is coming back to direct it.
Oh, so Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I don't know. They don't have a name for it.
Yeah, how are they going to work that?
I think it's going to be Ant-Man 3, but it probably might be Ant-Man and the Wasp 3.
Or family. They're going to bring the kid
in. So you do Ant-Man, then Ant-Man the Wasp, then add the Ant family or something like that.
Interesting.
But yeah, that is announced. So that's locked in. Have they announced Black Panther? I think there was rumours of a Black Panther 2. They're definitely going to do one.
Well, I mean, it made $1 billion, so
they're definitely going to do one. It's just a case of when they do it rather than if they will do it.
But like they also gotta, like, not straight away anyway, but they're gonna want to build to another team up movie eventually.
Yes, but you have a different team this time.
Well, it's gonna be a very different team.
Yeah.
So like, obviously they're gonna bring in some new characters. Like who do we got in the car? Oh no, we don't really have any new. We've Blade in that, but they're gonna put Blade in the new team. Probably not.
I don't think Blade fits into the Avengers.
Definitely not fit in the Avengers.
Like you can't imagine him in New York fighting those aliens.
No.
Like, what use is he? He's just a dude with a trench coat and a big sword.
He is part vampire, though.
He's part vampire.
I mean,
that is
pretty powerful in itself.
It's a powerful ally to have, but, like, when you're standing beside, like, Captain America and the Hulk, and you just have a guy who's real good at chopping vampires' heads off, as cool as that is in probably his own universe, I don't think it fits into daylight, laser beam, going into the sky, opening up a portal somewhere.
Yeah. See, that's the thing now. They're going to have to turn away from what they usually do then, which is every character they introduce features in the team-up movies.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form. So now are they just going to, like...
Well, they can't do that because they now have Deadpool and all of the Fox characters as well to deal with, as much as they introduce them. Because they might be able to have a chance that they have an Avengers universe, obviously, and an X-Men universe, and they can introduce characters and kind of put them in each team.
Yeah, split them across. Deadpool does a few with the X-Men.
Yeah.
Maybe he joins Spider-Man and all that.
Blade, I think, would fit more into the X-Men than he would into the Avengers.
Imagine Blade and Wolverine running around together.
Like, I think that would be a really cool scene. Like,
that'd be pretty good. I would like that.
I don't know if there's much thing of Blade being in the X-Men. I'm sure there is. Shaun did a Hero Zero on him. Yeah. But, like, I think that you have definitely more legs in Blade joining an X-Men or popping up with a Fantastic Four movie, maybe more X-Men than you would an Avengers movie, which I think, I don't know, like Guardians of the Galaxy is probably as crazy as the Avengers are going to get with like a raccoon.
Well, I guess that's pretty crazy.
I mean, you have a raccoon and a tree. Which are part of the team.
Weird selling point.
But they're not really part of the team, because they're just there because Thanos was going to blow everybody up, so everyone just jumped in together.
Yeah. I don't know, really. Plus, they need another big bad.
That's the big thing. So, if you have a big bad, though, the big bad has to be more powerful than Captain Marvel.
Oh, that's the problem.
It's
Oh,
it's
there's
like
nothing I didn't like about Endgame. Not her. Like her problem. Well, the Captain Marvel itself was the problem.
but
For me,
it's
not
the
her.
Superman problem. Like
It is.
it's Superman in Justice League when they can't defeat Steppenwolf,
Yeah.
and then Superman turns up and he just like beats him in like 3 punches, and you're just like, all right, well, fair enough. Or else Superman fights the rest of the Justice League and he beats all 5 of them by himself.
It's like, what's the point of the team?
Well, surely Superman could just do it himself.
Yeah, but like when she turned up in Endgame and goes straight through Thanos' ship, one swift straight through it. That's the end of it. That's a big ass ship, and just goes down like it's nothing.
I think that's cool. I think that's fine.
A little bit, but like, and then all right. Well, then they had the big girl team up scene.
Yes.
Pointless when she literally just flies straight through them. 1 second later, like, oh, we're all gonna. Sorry, that was really deep for some reason. It's like we're all gonna clear the way for her, and then okay, they kill off 1 or 2, but then suddenly she just goes straight through them, and is only stopped because Thanos happens to be able to throw his
Power Stone,
throw his thing quicker than, or at the.
Oh yes.
Throw his whatever's left of his weapon into the van before like she can get to it. So like. Yeah, she's too powerful. They need to do something with her.
Well, it's not that a case of even doing something for... Like, you're allowed to have her be that powerful. You just need a villain who's more powerful.
But that's the problem, though. That means you're just now writing these villains. But you see, then the problem with that villain then is, what is the point of Ant-Man fighting that villain when you know there's like...
But, like, Scarlet Witch is, like, a god as well. And we're okay with her being against Thanos.
Yeah, but we know she's very powerful, though.
Yeah, but we know Captain Marvel's also very powerful.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I think there should be the same thing that's just, like... If you got the 2 of them, really, the team is very just lopsided. That the 2 of them could just win any fight by themselves.
Yeah.
If you had the 2 of them and Hulk, in any fight, you win that fight.
Well, Hulk's not as powerful anymore.
Okay, that's fair enough because he's Professor Hulk. But I think you win every fight those 3 participate in, no matter who else you have.
Yeah, so that's my thought then. Like, what's the point of all the other superheroes?
You're gonna have to get multiple villains to come together to take him down. But then you need a situation where, like, that's the problem. Like, that's the Superman problem that they have in comic books all the time, where you have a character who can... They're even in the 70s where he could just fucking reverse time by flying around the world. How do you mean to defeat a character who could just reverse time? It doesn't matter. Like, oh, I'm beating him, I'll just fucking reverse time, then we'll be fine. Like...
So alright, here we go. Has Marvel peaked?
Oh.
Is that it? Is that the Everest?
I think Endgame was the Everest. I think I said that during the review that it wasn't, but that's not me being negative.
Oh no, I'm not saying the rest of them are going to be bad. That'll probably be really, really fun. But
I think if you build 23 movies to a big, massive Endgame, it's literally called Endgame, that has to be the peak, unless they put another 23 movies in and recreate magic again. But I think that
I don't think they can't recreate the same magic though.
I think the team, like, you have Spider-Man and you have Black Panther and you have Captain Marvel. That's a very good basis.
Well, good characters, but they're great. But are they Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor?
Not even that. I would say, can you recapture the magic of the first Avengers?
Probably not.
Like, people now have seen... Once you go through Endgame, there's literally no team-up movie that could in any way surprise... If you have a scene where Captain America catches that fucking hammer and beats the shit out of Thanos, there's no scene in every other movie that can top that. But that doesn't mean they can't try.
No,
and
yeah. They had that building from Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Him lifting that goddamn hammer.
But Age of Ultron isn't that good as a movie.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it though.
Yeah, I think it's just Avengers 1, just again, really.
But I liked Ultron though. That was the thing. I liked Ultron.
Ultron was really good in it. So I think you can do a good team movie. It's about the director, it's about the components. There has to be so many different elements that work to make it work. And the only thing that I would say is that I don't know if you can recreate the same amount of luck of getting the Russos and that cast together and 23 movies that are not complete. Not one of them other than Thor: The Dark World is complete dog shit. So like that's a serious record that I don't know if they can, but the good thing about that is they can continue to try and they have Spider-Man, which is like
Kind of.
they kind of have him, but he's an ace in the hole in that he's probably more famous than all of the Avengers before they started. So in 2008, Spider-Man is the number one in Marvel.
Because he had those movies.
Yeah, but
And Hulk. Hulk probably would have been too.
Do you think Hulk would too?
He had a few movies too.
And he had
so
the
I
TV
think-
series,
and he had the TV
yeah.
series. I think everyone's kind of like, Hulk is pretty cool. He smashes things and he's really big. And
I think this time they actually have the number one Marvel character in their disposal. It'd be like if DC did the Justice League without Batman, and then did 23 movies and a big movie, and then they brought Batman in just near the end, and they had him for the next go around, like or Superman, same thing.
Yeah.
So like, I think there is positives that they could do that. I don't know in this amount. There's even going to be a year where they bring 4 movies out in the same year.
that's a bit madness.
That's a lot.
What year are they doing that?
I think that's 2021.
Is that the
Or
year
2022.
Is that the year Doctor Strange comes out?
Yeah, I think there's 4 movies. I think what I read was, I don't have the dates in front of me, but it was I think it was February, May, July, November, something like that. That there was going to be 4 of them in one year.
Plus, they've all the TV shows now too.
Yes,
Coming out, Disney Plus.
Disney Plus has so much content.
Oh man, no, those Americans are lucky.
It's
Those Americans are lucky.
It's not going to be until next year that it gets. Yeah. Okay. I think that's going to be the end of our news. We just had a general discussion about Avengers and Marvel and stuff like that. Do you want to do weekly recommends?
Sure.
I'm not going to put in the tune because Shaun sometimes does it, and I refuse to do it because he doesn't do it. But you can do it. Weekly recommends begins now. Conor, what is your weekly recommend?
So even though us poor folks over here in Ireland don't have Disney Plus yet,
You moved over to America.
there are other. Yes, I have moved over to America just so I could watch The Mandalorian.
Wow.
Yes, the Star Wars guy playing the Star Wars card.
Yes.
So the first 2 episodes have come out, and pretty good.
Very good, are they?
It's very, very good. Very, very good. I wasn't sure going in.
I've
So
heard nothing
I was
but good
kinda like,
things.
yes, exactly. So like, the first episode, I kind of thought, not that it was a bit slow. I was trying to get to grips with what was going on at the very start, but like, come the end of the first episode, I was all in,
Right.
all in. So I remember that scene in the trailer where you see IG-88.
Yes.
That's the end of the first episode. Him and IG-88 fucking shit up.
Right.
It is great. Love it. It's so good. IG-88 is so cool.
He's played by Taika Waititi? No, who?
No, IG-88 is the droid. That's the droid
Oh, yes,
one.
sorry.
And then the Mandalorian was Prince Oberyn from Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Pedro Pascal.
That's his name. Yeah. So he's really good. It's kind of got an oldish. It's kind of weirdly enough got a kind of a little bit of a westerny vibe to it with the music and stuff like that.
Okay.
And also, it's really good that he is very not overpowered.
Good.
So like obviously he's good at what he does because he's a good bounty hunter. But you do see like he can get his ass kicked.
So he doesn't Mr. Magoo Boba Fett himself into winning situations. Don't get me started on Boba Fett, but there isn't a situation where he's definitely going to lose, but he like stands on a rake and it flips over the air, lands on that guy's head, and then he suddenly wins.
No, he hasn't had that.
Okay, good.
But
That's good.
He hasn't had that, but well, the very end of the first episode, like,
There's no spoilers there.
yeah, I'm trying not to
go on.
spoil it. I'm not trying to spoil it. Very end of the episode, like, blew me off my seat nearly.
Okay.
But like, if you've seen anything on social media about it, you've probably seen it about this one thing. So
I have avoided everything.
have you avoided everything?
I've avoided everything.
So you've not seen nothing to do with the Mandalorian.
I've seen the baby. That's about it.
Oh, that's it. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, well, that's fine.
That's what I was talking about.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
And only that.
Yeah. So I wasn't gonna say anything else though.
Okay.
about it, but like that was like, I was like, oh god damn.
Okay.
Because like,
And the Mandalorian, seems like a dumb question.
right.
The Mandalorian has nothing to do with Boba Fett. He's like...
They're the same. They're from the same planet.
Okay.
Mandalore is its own planet. So like they're
But they're both bounty hunters.
yeah, but all Mandalorians aren't bounty hunters. Just so happens these ones are.
Okay.
But like they're they just have the same kind of armor and stuff like that. And you know, as they become better and better, they get cooler and more better pieces of armor to put on themselves, and that's how you know
He's a good one.
who's really
yeah.
good, like who's really good at being a Mandalorian. Or,
And is he high up when it starts?
like he's already pretty good, but
Okay.
then pretty early on in the first episode, he does a job, and you see like this is very early on in the first episode. He does
If
a
it's
job.
in the first 10 minutes, it's not a spoiler.
Yeah, he does a job in the first few minutes, and he gets paid for it or whatever, and he can like and he gets it like, he gets paid for whatever, and he gets it like melted down, and he gets another piece of armor. So you see him like upgrade his armor in the first few minutes to be like, oh, okay, he's improving, or he's a higher level of bounty hunter now, sort of. Not a higher level of Mandalorian.
Can I guess a plot?
Go on.
That might not happen.
Right.
But at some stage, something's going to go wrong and he's going to lose all of his armor and he's going to start again, like in a video game, where you have to start off, like in the sequel to like a video game where in the first one you got all of the armor and all the weapons, and at the start of the second one they're just like, you've accidentally lost all of your armor, you got to get it back again.
Well, if he does lose it, there'd be nothing accidental about it, like, because pretty much you have to die to lose it.
Right.
Someone would have to take it off your dead body, pretty much.
So there isn't like a government or a company that he like.
He's part of a guild.
I'm talking the guild could take it off him. You don't deserve this,
no,
man.
They wouldn't do
Pedro Pascal, you dickhead.
They wouldn't do that.
You're gonna get your eyes popped out, is what they'll say to him.
How could you?
He went really serious.
How could you do that?
He had a one, Con. He had a one.
All he had to do was stab him,
Just little fucking bitch dancing around with his little stick.
But no, that's my weekly recommend. It's really good. And clearly, because if the Star Wars fans like it, some of them are fickle. And fickle creatures. They can be,
as you are a massive diehard Star Wars fan, I gotta say, your kind are very fickle creatures.
Hey. I have reasonable opinions.
See, yeah, that's okay. Like, I'm massively into Batman, but then I met someone and they're just like, yeah, I don't like Batman. I'm like, yeah, it's very dumb. Like, it's really dumb.
Oh yeah, because I was talking to my girlfriend's sister yesterday.
Right.
And she, for the first time ever, watched a Star Wars movie.
Oh, fuck.
And it was A New Hope.
Oh.
Yeah, she started with that one. Because I don't know, whatever way she... Well,
we were hardly going to start with fucking one.
Well, it's up to who watches it. Really. Like, if you wanted to start... Like, she didn't know anything about Star Wars. So I would nearly have said to her, start Phantom Menace and go along. Because, if you don't know what's going on, it might be, as things reveal themselves as you go along.
Okay.
Sort of thing. That's the way I would have thought. But, like... She started with A New Hope. She hated it. She absolutely hated it. And I nearly died. Oh, God.
You gotta stop taking these things so seriously.
No, but because just what she was telling me, I was like completely disagreeing with. I was like, she told me the acting was terrible. She's like, the only good character was Han Solo.
Yeah. I mean, Harrison Ford is a handsome man, though, in fairness.
But she said Mark Hamill was a terrible actor.
Okay, well, that's fair enough.
She couldn't get over the fact that Darth Vader was voiced by a black man, but wasn't black.
What?
So she obviously hasn't seen them. She doesn't know who Anakin is. So she's like, is that? So hang on. She asked me, how is Darth Vader Luke's father if Luke is white and he's black?
But isn't that just his outfit?
No, but she knows James Earl Jones. She knows James Earl Jones voices
from Lion King.
Yes, she knows he voices Darth Vader.
Okay. She's like,
but he's black, and I'm like, Darth Vader's not black. But then why is a black man voicing?
Because she thinks there's going to be a scene where he takes off the mask and just starts talking.
Like, no. Anakin's a white dude. It's just Darth Vader is voiced by this black guy because he's a really good voice, and it's like,
yeah.
And she was like, it's a bit stupid though, isn't it? And I was like, oh my god. Well,
I think you take these things too personal.
Alright, well, hang on. She said the CGI was terrible, and
That's true.
I'm like, it was a movie from 1977.
In fairness, that is another good point, well made back.
And then she just said it was she said it was boring. I was like, what are you looking for?
I've heard A New Hope is boring from people for their first time watching it as well. I've heard that multiple times.
She thought, to be fair, and she was giving about the lightsaber fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. She was just like,
that is quite piss poor. It is.
How old is Alec Guinness at that stage?
And they didn't know what it would look like, so they were like, these dudes swing your sticks at each other. Don't worry about it.
And I'm like, A New Hope is probably my third favorite Star Wars movie, maybe fourth now actually, because Force Awakens and that. So, okay, maybe like my third or fourth favorite Star Wars movie. And I was just like, listen to her rip on it like this, and I was like, so what are you looking for in the Star? She was like, I don't really know. I was like, alright, well, episode 5, Empire Strikes Back is my favourite one.
Can I just say so? I don't think she's going to like 5 either.
I don't think she will
Maybe
either.
She just isn't into Star Wars.
Maybe not, but like...
I met a guy last week, didn't like the Dark Knight trilogy. And I went, fair enough.
But you're wrong.
You were very emotional about this. I'm just like, alright, cool. Like, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's fair enough, Con. You're got emotional now. I feel like your head is down. You're remembering back to that time she badmouthed Star Wars.
I don't mind people bad.
You know what, Con? I don't like A New Hope. I don't think it's that good. It's very boring. That Mark Hamill guy can't act. My weekly recommend this week is something that I think you'll like.
Oh.
I recently just started watching Scrubs again. Yes. And I just watched it from like episode 1. And it's just dumb fun. Now, Zach Braff, you either like him or you don't like him. He can be, as a human, he can be unlikable, but I think as a character also, he's kind of a dick in some episodes where you're just kind of like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's a bit of a dick. He has a bit of the Ross Geller vibe about him a lot, but I think the rest of the characters are like so strong that you just kind of go along with it. And it is the Dr. Cox show for like for the whole first season anyway, and then they're just like, they kind of move off to other places. I think it's very dumb fun. But yeah, people should go back and watch Scrubs. Scrubs is good.
Definitely worth watching again.
Definitely worth
First
watching.
7 seasons.
Oh yeah, skip the last one. Who gives a shit?
What do you mean? There's only 7 seasons.
Oh sorry, yeah, no, you're right. There is only 7.
Yeah.
There's not an episode 8.
There's not.
Medical school?
Yeah.
So actually, that is going to be the end of this week, Movie Mondays, Con. Thank you very much for helping out.
No bother, lad. I'll see you in week 97.
Week 97 is going to be a good one. Can't wait already. Yeah, so you can follow us on Twitter at Heroes for Hire Pod, the 4 is number 4, Facebook Heroes for Hire Podcast, Instagram Heroes for Hire Podcast. If you want to support the show, we have a Patreon. That will be in the link down below. It's the Heroes for Hire Podcast Patreon.
So can I get a cut of that for this episode?
You can get 0 cut. Tell you what, you can have a cut of like 0.
Right.
That we get.
Great.
I know. No,
0%.
I'll give you something off the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Off the top.
The loose change.
I'll buy you some wine gums or something.
Nice one.
Yeah. So if you want to support the show, you can go there. Conor will be back episode 97. If you don't like me or Shaun, just tune in 97. He'll be back, and you can all go back to that. But yeah, that's going to be it for another week. Thank you very much, Conor, for stopping by.
No problem at all. Pleasure to be here.
I have been Conor Lawler.
And I have been Conor Martin.
Well done. And we will, well, you won't. See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.